Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights, here to give a quick show report for the Waters Creek, Plano, Texas card show that Kyle Robertson promoted and put on. And it turned out great. Thanks sponsors, Topps Media, Upper Deck, Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication, ComC.com, Burbank Sports Cards, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Heritage Auctions, and Huggins & Scott Auctions. I'm not sure very many of the sponsors were officially there, so it was very similar to the very first National. No real corporate presence to speak of, but a lot of tables and a lot of stuff put out. People coming from all over the country, being dealers set up, as well as collectors, investors, flippers. Just the room was pretty full. In fact, it was so full, I had some concerns that there would be not an outbreak of COVID, but there would be maybe some backlash. But I don't think so. Pretty much everybody was wearing masks and honoring that mandate, I think. But not everybody does that. And I actually took my mask off when I was facing into the wall and not breathing on anybody, but I tried to keep my mask on when I was circulating around or out in the open air. Again, by all accounts, a very successful show. I had one of my better shows for working through some of again, when everybody's looking at the cases and the slabbed cards, I'm looking at the dollar boxes, and not a lot of competition there because they're low demand cards. They're low price, they're low demand. But as I said, I'm willing to look through those boxes and find stuff that's interesting because I think it'll eventually sell. You can look all you want in those boxes, and you're rarely going to find stuff that like immediately sells that you can quick flip. Occasionally you'll find that, but you have to find that needle in the haystack. In the meantime, I'm looking for just cards in general that I think will be fun for me to either, not many of them would go on my wall, but some of them would go in my collection of local players that I like to show people from around town. And then some I'll put on ComC, some will go to eBay. And some will wind up going to Rich Klein for his Adopt charity show that he'll have in the spring. So again, well done, Kyle. My hat's off not just to Kyle, but to all the dealers that had the confidence to come and the collectors that had the confidence to come to a big show that was indoors. There was a lot of money changing hands. As I'm sitting there minding my own business for a good portion of the show, looking through cards, my eyes are fully engaged, but my ears, I'm hearing the dialogue and the adjacent tables, and there was dynamic deal flow and roars from the crowd when people were spontaneously opening product and making complicated trades and deals. It's back like in the old days when trading currency was almost better than cash. So Luka rookies around Dallas are better than cash. Kyle did a great job. Like I said, in many senses, it was better than the first National out in LA back in, I guess that was 1980. But this is Texas, and things are bigger in Texas. And yet many national dealers, we'll see. Kyle's next show is supposed to be late January. I was joking with him about that, but then I don't think he took it as a joke that by scheduling it January 29th through the 31st, that is after potentially new regime politically and maybe some crackdowns that could be national. If they're statewide, I think Texas will be one of the ones that allows more personal freedom. But if it's a national mandate, then we'll have to abide by that. So I'm hoping that it's not, because people just had a lot of excitement in the air, and a lot of thank yous to Kyle for stepping out there and putting on a show. The aisles that were super wide 3 months ago, not so wide because he put in quite a bit more tables. Some of you remember my episode from after the other show where I actually counted tables. So when Kyle says he's got 400 tables, that may be 400 table holders, because there were a whole bunch there was one dealer that I wanted to buy from, and I got there too late, that supposedly had 40 tables and sold several of the tables altogether in mass before. And that was by Saturday after lunch. I was going to go there next. And I said, what happened? So he got an offer that he couldn't refuse. And I thought, okay, I don't know that I would have competed for that. Rob Veras was sending Ryan, and Ryan didn't come. Again, probably because of just people, if in doubt, are not traveling. But anyway, thanks, Kyle. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to seeing y'all. I connected with a number of podcast future guests. I was thinking I would do some episodes at the show, but people are just too distracted. So I take some names, and over the coming weeks, you'll hear from some of the people who were there and friends of friends. And again, very positive environment. People are happy and bullish on the hobby, and it makes it a lot of fun for me and you and everybody else. So thanks, everybody. Be back again on Monday with another episode.